Hey everyone, you're listening to the Alex Files. I'm Alex.
And I'm also Alex.
And we are here today on this sunny, well, it's still February, but it is a sunny day. Episode 5, Mambo number 5. Shocking.
A little bit of Alex in your life.
A little bit of someone that's not Alec.
Ooh. A little bit of someone that's not also Alice.
Louis Vega, what a guy. Well, funny we're talking about sort of a throwback because today we are yet again taking a shift in sort of directions to reality show escapes. Wow. Again, what a loaded topic in a very different way than grief and loss and trauma and boundary setting, but still important and still valid.
Yeah,
and I think, we both have so many faves, thoughts, just a lot to say about this topic. Reality shows. Where to even start on this? I would love for you, dear friend, to kind of, I think we think we know what reality shows are, but can you just give us a old school definition?
Yes, I looked into this because I assume I know what it is, but here's the definition. It's a reality television is a genre of television programming that documents purportedly unscripted real-life situations, often starring unknown individuals rather than professional actors. And purportedly means it's seemingly real. It's supposed to be real, but it could be not. So
interesting.
That's something that I didn't really know about or think about when I first started reality TV, is thinking that it could be fake and staged. And I remember kind of people telling me that about some of the shows I liked, and I was like annoyed, and then I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I
well,
guess.
I get you completely, because the way that it was sort of sold to us was through the name, and it's like, why wouldn't this be real?
Yeah.
It's seemingly real. I guess going back into your own, journey, relationship with reality TV, day one, your meet cute, how were you introduced to reality shows? What's your kind of first memory of like the first reality show you remember watching?
I may have my memories out of order because it was kind of a while ago. But my first immediate memory would be like watching Survivor. And the only way I was kind of exposed to that is, just basic cable, watching sitcoms, networks, TV on Friday, Saturday night, and then, or Thursday night, I think Survivor was on. And then at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, this show comes on. And so I'm like, all right, we're watching this show. And I was into it. Even like American Idol.
Oh my God.
But that kind of genre, the competition genre of wanting to be a singer or like surviving nature, that genre kind of died out for me, and that's not really what I enjoyed. I remember really coming into my own with reality shows with MTV. Coming home, TRL would end at 4 o'clock, and then like what's Room Raiders, Crib.
Oh dear. That little blue light thing.
Oh my God, there were so many. True Life. I never really got into the real world, a little bit here and there.
Do you remember This Is the Diary of, and it would be like a celebrity?
Yes.
Like, this is the diary of Britney Spears. You think you know, but you have no idea. Every day is a battle.
Free Britney.
Always and forever.
Yeah. I think I just want to say I think the Real World and Road Rules paved the
Mhm.
way for people like Jersey Shore. Like that kind of
Interesting.
behavior, getting drunk at a bar, drama with
Mm.
housemates, like chaos. I think that was really paving our way towards that kind of reality show.
I think you're right on that. It's true. Like, I mean, I don't know, I was probably very young. Hey, when the first Real World episode ever aired, but I remember watching it and I think it did have a very different vibe than the seemingly like controlled kind of structure of American Idol.
Yeah.
You're not watching like Justin Guarini, is that his name?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
wasted or
Kelly
like
Clarkson.
Kelly, you're not seeing them like unraveling in the way that you did with maybe Real World and then into Jersey Shore when it's like, beating the beat, cabs are here, duck phone,
Bar fights,
bar fight.
losing your shit in the street. Cue the hills.
Oh my God.
Loved that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess thinking back when I was thinking about like what was my first reality show experience, I think I was maybe in seventh grade or earlier or sixth, seventh or eighth grade. One of those awkward years
Grades.
when one of those awkward grades when you're like, what's going on with my body? It's basically pen 15. But I
Oh,
remember coming home and so good. And I don't know, my mom was like watching this show and it wasn't on MTV. It was on one of the um I don't know, like Fox or ABC. It was called Eliminate and it was so
yes.
good. And the theme song was like burm 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 Eliminate. And it was great. It was, I mean, granted, I was looking back, I was very, very young to be watching that show because the premise was like one guy and a bunch of girls. It was sort of like predating The Bachelor, would go on, not a bunch,
Yeah.
three girls
Paving
would
the
go on a
way.
date. Yeah. And they would have all this commentary, like, oh, like, and they were really judgy back then with like the commentary.
Oh, they were horrible.
Very terrible. And then yeah, they would get wasted and then like make out with people just falling down on the sidewalk. And it was sort of my first introduction to what I thought dating was. I know. Terrible.
Yikes.
Yeah. I
Yikes.
mean, Hot Mess Express.
Like, next, um, like people would walk off the bus and like just walk up and they'd be like, next. It's
Yeah, they
like,
wouldn't even talk to
yo, I
them.
think that's like damaging for teenagers to see. Like, just
Totally. And
judged completely on your looks.
it is. And I mean, this was before we had, Instagram sleuthing and Twitter and subtweeting everything. But
Yeah.
um maybe that weird commentary and how harsh they were was like the replacement for the fact that now we like pick apart all these shows and these characters. Because
Yeah.
they were really not very nice, like on the show.
Yeah. But I did love when they'd get off the bus. It's like their turn. They'd like freeze frame it and then do like facts about him, like Chad. Chad loves to guzzle Gatorade, doesn't have a job, and can smell gym socks. It's like, what?
Right?
Like
Where
those
did they find these
bios.
people?
That
It's
part I
hard to
think was
say.
made up. You know, like MTV would write these ridiculous bios for these people.
I
They were
believe that.
too too clever and nuts and funny. Or maybe those actual people thought that was their selling points.
Like, so hard to say.
Wasn't there a game? I don't know if this was next, but there was like you get money for how long you lasted on the date before they said next. Yeah, that was next. You get money, right?
I
Like
believe you.
I don't know what show that was, but you get money for how long you lasted on the date, I thought.
I think that sounds very much like next. Also, Parental Control, where the
Oh,
parents.
oh, I was trying to think of the name of that one. That one was a particular favorite. That one
It's
was
so good.
wild. Could you imagine?
No. Yeah. So the parents would
Rude.
like their daughter is dating this guy that is just like a loser they can't stand, and so they set her, or they have MTV set her up with another guy that is a better suitor for her, or better suited for her. And yeah, and then she has to either choose this new guy or stay with her boyfriend.
Yeah, I think the parents get to pick one each. So there's
Oh,
one from the mom and there's one from the dad. And there's like that interview section where they'd be like, the parents would be interviewing the candidates and like picking the future boyfriend choice or whatever. Oh, it's so funny. And then sometimes they would pick the new people and they would leave their boyfriend or girlfriend and be like, yeah, this guy's cooler. Sure.
that is wild. That is
But
wild.
is that real? Did they really break up and then pick this guy and then date, or like I seem to think so. I don't know.
I don't know. I have a lot of questions. I do know, just as an aside, that, and this was maybe when I graduated high school or the freshman year of college, there was a girl who I went to elementary school with, Morgan, who was on a reality show called Baby Borrowers with her boyfriend.
Ma'am,
She
what?
was sort of the like popular mean girl of our elementary school, one of them, one of the
Baby
crew.
borrowers? Oh
So
no.
yeah, it was about teen, or early 20 something. No, it was like 18-year-old couples who had to take care of
No.
a baby and then a toddler and then like a 5-year-old, and then they had to take care of an old person and to test their relationship. And she and her boyfriend, she was perfect for the show. Like they had so much drama. They ended up breaking up. Yeah. It was like the days
Because of the show?
Yeah, and because like they didn't agree on their parenting techniques.
Well, I mean, better to know now than when you actually have a kid. Is that like the point of the show, is like testing, like, are you really compatible? Can you really
Yeah,
handle
but they
this?
were so young, like they'd probably just both gotten their braces off, and they were rocking the like or she was rocking the fake tan, I think. Sorry, that is on the record, with her flip-flops and jeans and that look.
As any proper Southern California young woman in the early aughts would do. Not a lot of flip flops happening in New England, only for about 2 months of the year, but
like socks and Birkenstocks.
Boots,
No.
winter boots from LL Bean, the duck boot.
Oh, look.
Yeah. So also, like MTV World, let's talk about like My Sweet 16, Pimp My Ride, because that was also like a glimpse of reality shows that we have now, where it's like you're invited into these houses of these insanely rich people and see them throw parties. Kardashians. Like in this other Christy somebody, he's like a reverend, his family, it's like all these famous families popping up reality shows, but it like I remember these rich
like
kids.
Chrisley Knows Best.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
I've never seen that, but I know what their faces look like. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Sweet 16.
10 grand on a party. It's like,
it's wild.
So it's like
Pimp My Ride.
Oh, I did love that one, and it was so unnecessary.
Show. It was so crazy.
You like grilled cheese? We put a grill in your grill so you can grill grilled cheeses in your car. It's like, whoa, man, yeah.
Like, you love your aquarium. Let's put one in your trunk.
I think there's a really funny BuzzFeed article or something about like how that turned out at the end. Like, did those cars last? And like what happened for those people? And they're like driving to work with this like giant like van.
I need to know more about the fish in that aquarium.
Right? That's kind of selfish. Like,
I know.
Are those fish going to be okay?
I mean, good.
I don't know. That was wild.
I think you're onto something though with the idea that like some of those early shows are like, although I wouldn't say Flavor of Love was really introducing folks to like glam. But that was introducing them to something.
Flavor Flav.
And then Rock of Love. I mean, it is so hard to keep
the tour bus. It is, but like, okay, so we're sitting here we're having these smirks, we're ha ha ho ho, but like we watch it. We like it, right?
Totally,
Like,
totally.
and it's like we like to hate on it, I guess. I don't know. That
Yeah,
sounds really
why?
bad.
Well, I think we should kind of circle back to that in terms of, I mean, now we're in the year 2021, which is weird. How do you, reality shows are like, there is a reality show for everything. It's a whole industry in a way that it wasn't before. How do you feel like it's changed since maybe those early days, for us at least, of like TRL, Real World, Survivor, Eliminate?
I think I don't know if it's really changed as much as I would say evolved and kind of taken steroids. Like
Hmm.
it's become, they've figured it out that it makes money and that people love to watch it endlessly with so many topics and people, and endlessly for 20 seasons of the same thing. So they really have just mastered like the production value of creating these dramatic situations, pasting it together in ways that keep you watching the next episode and getting attached to these characters. And well, they're people, but personified people in this sense. So I think really they've just stepped up the level of intensity and craziness. Like we went from, next to like, let's do some Bachelor roses to like, let's get married at first sight. Fuck it. Like we upped the ante of just like bizarre risks that we'll take, whether it's a crazy reality show of eating bugs and doing these for the Amazing Race, climbing a mountain, or marrying someone you've never met. It's like, I think it's just intensified.
I think you're right. And I mean, since we started watching reality TV, like certainly, and I think it really depends on the like channel that you're watching on, maybe if it's like TLC versus like E or Bravo or something, but
Oh yeah.
the production value is so much higher, and you know, the more popular the show, the more money that there is behind it. And I've noticed, like, since I started watching The Bachelor in college, like junior senior year of college with my roommates then, and we watched it not because we were hopeful that we would maybe find love or that they would, but because we love to hate it, as we do with many
Exactly.
reality shows, which we can get into. But notice that, like, the, you know, the contestant culture, as it has changed on so many shows, not just The Bachelor, but it used to be people who like were like, oh, I'm a flight attendant, or I'm a teacher, and now it's like, I'm just an influencer, and that's how
I'm
it goes.
independently wealthy from my dad.
Yeah. And I think also knowing that, you know, like you said, we thought reality shows were real. The reality of that is that they are heavily produced. And this term that I actually just learned in the last month called like Frankenbiting, which is where producers take audio clips from different moments and sort of Frankenstein them
Yeah.
together to create like a way to pull you in, or whether it's in the teaser or in the moment, to sort of craft the story that they want to tell, which
Yeah.
I think is really interesting. It's like
So
remix.
yeah, and I think that's, they layer it over a different visual, like her eyes looking over at him at the table, and they have the audio in the background. It's like you make it seem like that's what was happening at that moment, but they're just piecing together the storyline they want you to see. I think it's very important. The thing you mentioned, back in the day when this started, it was very novel and a little bit more real and pulling from people like a teacher or somebody that you're a neighbor with. But I remember being in college and having a job and working with this young woman who was also in college. And her telling me, like, legitimately, her career goals and plan was to try to go to LA and become famous through reality shows.
Whoa. Okay.
So, like, I think that's kind of a newer thing that this, like, empire built out of people, like just like YouTube is building these people who want to just quote unquote be an influencer and make content. It's
Mm-hmm.
like these people actually just want to go and try out for all these shows. And like on The Bachelor, some people criticize contestants for being there for the wrong reasons, because they're a musician and they want to be famous and like I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
on reality TV, right? There was a recent Bachelor with Hannah Brown, I thought, that was like a
Mm-hmm.
musician, and then they got
Oh yeah, Jed. He did
yeah.
dog food jingles.
Okay, so would you ever be on a reality show? Like, wild question.
Wow. That is a wild question. I've definitely thought about it, specifically about being on The Bachelor, not just post Phil, but like in life. Like, what
Yeah.
would that be like? Yeah, and I've looked at the application before. I just don't know that I would be the right fit. Like, I think I would definitely scope it out for the story. In fact, one of my friends, I think this was over like Christmas, she said that she submitted an application on my behalf. So TBD, I haven't heard anything back. I doubt I will, but I think that it would be a very, very interesting like social experiment to go on the show. As a person, I'm just curious if I would be interesting enough to like stay on in terms of the like drama screen time aspect. I mean, I'm certainly willing to try, but I also would take opportunities to like sneak and find out more about like the production side of it. And of course, like give me those snacks, you know?
Yeah, what's that called? It's like there's a word for that.
Oh, craft services?
Craft services. Not Kraft mac and cheese unless you request it, but
Not
craft
craft.
services.
Yeah, well, and I think they have a grocery budget on The Bachelor. So, I mean, because you, especially now with the pandemic, like you can't go out. So, if you're like, I need this many 3D Doritos, you know,
Cool,
or else I'll
Oreos.
pass out.
I think it'd be so fun to watch you because you're not that stereotypical, like, kind of person on that show where it's like sometimes it's hard to differentiate like them. They look the same, they talk the same, they don't really have,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they have the same career. Like it's like, eh. And then you pop you in there with, you know, a personality and humor, and it's like I think the drama would follow you not because you create it, but because these other women would like react to somebody who's actually like different in a way that would be catty, and you'd be like, what? I just I thought, and then they'd be like, well, she's da da da, and you'd be like, man, I love these snacks. You know, you're like talking head, be like, yeah, I thought the date went really good. Love the snacks, and they'd be like, she's such a bitch, and it's like, what?
Oh my
What'd you
God, that would be
do?
amazing. Honestly, especially because I don't think you're on The Bachelor, like you're not supposed to eat the food that they put in front of you. It's all staged. You're maybe eating before, which is just
Reality.
I know, but well, you know, if we need to get me a tape sent in, we can do that. How about you? Do you think you would ever, and not necessarily like The Batch, but just any sort of like
The
whether it's
batch.
The Batch, do you think you could do a reality show? Any genre, anytime, like it could be even like way back, Super Sweet 16,
They'd come over
Real
to my
World.
house and watch my dad bake us lasagna and us run around and dance in the basement.
That sounds fun.
It was a lot of
Lasagna
fun.
sounds great.
It was so good.
Aww.
It was great. It was really really nice. And I I don't know, man. I think so. I think so, Matt.
I think so. I
I
think
don't
so.
think like a romantic situation where I could be like rejected and criticized like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe like a crafting competition show or like a
Oh yeah.
makeover show. I don't know. But I think I am personable and I could do well, but also like not intentionally start drama, but like I don't know. Who knows? I think it'd be interesting. I'd be bopping around like, I don't know. What? You hate me? Let's make an alliance. But then they'd like piece together the one time I cry in public and like lose my shit, and then voiceover, and like I don't know. I'd be afraid to see how they portray
I
me.
know. Well,
For real.
and you could potentially become a meme,
And
which
I'm
could
very
be.
emotional. I'm very emotional. If my heart was in it, which it would have to be, you know, my soul and heart would be in it. There would be some moments, and like I don't know if I'm willing to expose myself that much, but like I am
Yeah.
because I share my art. But it's like I don't know. I don't know if that's like the medium.
Yeah, I get you on the
I
emotional
like
side.
acting,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
I get you on the emotional side though, because like to actually show up and do the show, like your heart would have to be at least somewhat in it, or I mean, because most of the time you have to like leave your job or whatever
Yeah.
situation you're. So,
Or boyfriend.
or boyfriend.
There's situations where they like show up to the Bachelor, Bachelorette, and they're like casually dating someone already, and I'm like, what? Your
Right?
wife, your children? Wait,
And how do you show up
naked
for a
and
show
afraid?
like for the show like The Bachelor where you don't know how long you're going to be there, but you're expected to pack like all these gowns?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Where did the gowns come from?
I
How
don't
do they
know.
all have those gowns? Are
I
they
don't know.
coming
I
out
mean,
of those people's budgets? Is
I
there a
mean, yes,
wardrobe section?
I'm in a closet right now, but these are not gowns. These are not gowns. These are dresses, and a lot of them are from Target. This is a metallic skirt that's highly flammable.
Love that look.
I'm just visualize like for those of you tuning in, not with your eyes, but with your ears. Like I'm just saying, not all of us have gowns, bandage dresses that we can just show up in.
I have a gown that I thrifted for like a music video that's like oversized and lots of tulle, but it doesn't fit that well. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I don't have gowns. I would love that. Nowhere to go.
But
I don't know, man. Even my prom dress, like that one opportunity that you get as a kid to like be the fanciest ever. Like, girl, I got my prom dress at Goodwill and I cut it with scissors. So like I don't really know that experience of wearing like a really expensive dress that like fits amazing and makes you feel amazing. You know, like a
yeah.
gown. I'm
Well,
gonna have that
and
moment, but
I mean,
it hasn't happened yet.
I love that everyone is like in tune with their bodies. And there are so many like I'm gonna go to the club dresses that folks wear on The Bachelor, and I would like love to rock like I don't know, like a pantsuit or something.
I am all about the jumpsuit. Like
Yeah.
my 70s finest with some really cool hoops and like big shag curly hair and just be like, yo, check this ass.
Right? You better give me a rose. Check this ass. That is
JK.
JK. I mean, I'll accept it. I'll accept it. I need to know though.
I actually brought my own roses and you don't get one. I'm going to head out.
I have to go. I have to go.
I'm going to head out.
Gotta just dip.
I'm a just Irish goodbye.
Do you Oh, is that you Irish goodbye?
It's just like that meme where the person like pieces out and then poofs in the background. It's like
poof. I do have a sort of an aside about actually, oh my god, I'm thinking all these memories are coming back to me. I have had instances in the real world where I have run into Bachelor, Bachelorette contestants.
What?
Yes. Would you like to know about
them? Yes.
Okay, so the first one, I don't know when this was. I think it was in like 2016. I was in LA for like a concert or something, and went with one of my friends to the show at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, where there was a concert, not outside, but in some like center inside. It was like a Masonic center. I don't know. Anyways, I went to go get a drink, and the girl who was bartending for the show, it was a pretty small show, but she was on Sean's season of The Bachelor way back when. Her name's Leslie. Sean was I think Sean was a born again virgin firefighter. Yeah, the face you just made is the right face to make. And
I'm gonna let that. We'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back to that. Anyways, I saw her and I immediately was like, "Oh my god, hi, Leslie. So nice to meet you." And I was like, "How are you? How's it going?
Have you been working on your recovery from the heartbreak?"
Yeah, and she was like, "I'm fine. Like I'm dating someone else now. It's okay." And I had all these questions for her. That was the one that really stood out to me though, that I asked. And then I was gone, like I was gone for like 20 minutes, just like, wow. She's like, "Yeah, I'm working on myself. Like everything's good."
Well, that's nice,
So
and she was very nice.
she was very, very friendly. And yeah, I just sleuthed her Instagram the other day. She is like pregnant now with like a non-bachelor person,
Wow, that's great. That's awesome.
which is exciting. Another moment running into Ben Z from I don't know whose season. He is a personal trainer from San Jose, and he was spotted in the year
Spotted.
2018 in at a Darius Rucker concert that I went to with one of my roommates, the lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish. Who is Darius Rucker? That is not my roommate, if that makes sense.
It's Ben.
It's Ben. No, it's I only want to be with you.
Oh, did I do the wrong song?
You did Bare Naked Ladies.
Holy shit, my bad.
It's all good.
Oh,
I only want to be with you. Ben Z was spotted with a not young, but like, his age, just very skinny, beautiful woman. I took some photos of me like pretending to take a picture smiling in front of the concert, but Ben Z was in the background. And then that same year, I spotted Becca from Ari's season of The Bachelor. This was also in 2018. Spotted her at UC Irvine in her
I also know that
art class.
Haven't watched the show, but I know about the drama.
Yeah.
I know about it. Same with Hannah Brown. I know about it.
That's a good place to be, though.
Yeah. Like the Kardashians. I know about it, but I don't really watch the show.
Yeah, same. I don't watch the show. It seems like a lot, but I know about Scott Disick. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. My mom likes it, and we talk about it. I don't know. Love to hate.
Love to see it. I know. It's a lot.
The only reality TV person that I didn't meet, but like this is as close as I got. Somebody, I don't remember his name. He was a friend of one of the main people on Laguna Beach. Went to SDSU the same year I did, and he would be there in the cafeteria sometimes. I don't remember. Never met him. Never talked to him, but he went to my school at the same time. That's as close as I got.
I feel like I remember, or like, is it Talon? We're gonna.
Talon was a little more prominent. I feel like I would have remembered if it was Talon. I think it was like maybe, I don't know. We'll do a deep dive.
Robert, no.
We'll update the chat. I was really big into. I don't want to tell you this, but I've already started this sentence, and I'm gonna face the shame of the reality of what this is. I was into The Apprentice in high school. I was into The Apprentice. I wanted to be a business major. It was a business themed show. Mm-hmm. I watched it with my dad.
Okay.
So I saw the Omarosa season. Fuck Donald Trump, but I did watch that show.
Wow. Well, you know what? We all have our reality shows that we're not proud of. I watched multiple seasons of Little People, Big World and the Little Chocolatiers. So
whoa, backpedal. What's the Little Chocolatiers?
The Little Chocolatiers, in case you're not aware, is a show on TLC. I don't think it had like more than 1 or 2 seasons, but it was about a little couple who lived in Colorado and had their own chocolate shop. And we used to call it Little Chocolate Tears, like tears running down your face. But it was about people who made chocolate who were little. The Little People Big World storyline was that, their family living on a farm in Oregon, and they have a trebuchet with a pumpkin.
I recall.
There was an incident with the trebuchet. Everyone is fine now, but this was years ago.
And then they got a divorce, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember my sister had a very, very big crush on one of the brothers on that show. So
valid. Very valid.
Super valid. But I would say, like, it's interesting. The TLC genre of shows are just very different.
They are. And there's different like
tiers,
sectors,
I would say.
And tiers and genres and groups and types. And I'm not down with all the types, but I'm so into some of them.
Mm-hmm.
The
Like My
makeover
Strange
shows.
Addiction.
Oh, that one I struggle with.
Like I Eat Wall.
I struggle with that one. Ooh.
I know.
Uh, yeah. So, okay. So, something that I think is like a benefit to these shows is that sometimes it can expose, some mental health issues that maybe other people wouldn't normally know about, like show Hoarders or
Mm-hmm.
Intervention or even like My Strange Addiction. And again, it's like some of that, like My Strange Addiction. Okay, are you really in a relationship with your car? Is that real? Are you doing this for the camera?
Oh, Chase, yeah.
But then you go to like Hoarders and you see these houses and like that's real life, right?
Totally.
um I don't know, I think it can be beneficial to kind of give awareness, but also it's like, are we watching these people's misery and problems for entertainment, or are we learning from this?
And I think too, like that is the problem with TLC. I think for maybe more general shows, like if you're watching, I don't know, like a Bravo show or some other reality competition show, when you see people who either like look like you or have had similar shared experiences. So like if you've gone through a divorce and you see someone
Yeah.
that's like trying to find love, or on Married, both on like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, as well as on Married at First Sight, there have been contestants or people on the show who are like widows and they're young. And although, the season where the storyline can kind of be a mess, like messy because it's a reality show, I
Yeah.
don't know, it can be refreshing to like see someone who gets it in a way.
Or
Um,
experience is something that you've experienced and brings that
mhm.
perspective that maybe normally isn't talked about or shared.
Totally, because it's
Yeah.
also like cookie cutter
Yeah,
and
like the
yeah.
WB version of like what high school or adulthood is like, that doesn't fit for like most people.
Oh my god, yeah. Our our high school experiences are not like Riverdale. I mean,
Unfortunately, I did not live Blair Waldorf's, life.
right?
Uh,
Same.
but like, bless these people for putting themselves out there and allowing us to find that sense of validation and identity in them, for being so vulnerable. And um, I know I've seen girls on women on these romantic shows that like I found on Instagram and follow, just because it's like, you know what, you're so awesome, you didn't deserve that, I'm rooting you on. And just like,
Totally. I've definitely reached out to people like through like DMs on Instagram that I've like
slid
someone,
in.
yeah, like this guy Easy was like eliminated from the last season of The Bachelorette, and I was like I felt like so sad for him. I was like, you were so great, like keep being yourself. And that's my
Aww.
extent. And like not that, and honestly, like he didn't read that because I have checked, but it's just like I think, yeah, you're right. They are putting themselves out there. And I guess even like thinking pre-reality show watching, what I was really into, and this kind of gets into Free Britney territory in high school, like I was, you know, and this is an escape in a different way, but like just obsessed with reading about like celebrity gossip in
Oh,
like People
I
magazine, like
still
Perez
am.
Hilton. And
Same.
I think it's like it's it feels like a similar experience or part of the brain or something, but with reality shows, it is different because I don't know, it's just maybe I don't know if it's more contained, it's not like their actual like lives, because it's more produced, but it
Yeah.
feels similar to me.
Yeah, or it just seems more real too when you like go into a house and you see kids or like a mess or like conflict
Mhm.
or someone whose guy isn't texting them back, and it's like, it's relatable, it's real. And maybe their makeup isn't perfect, usually it is, but like, just seeing a little bit more of like real people doing things. I remember this crazy show, I just remembered, Wife Swap,
Oh, I remember that.
throwing
That was
people in.
crazy.
But just seeing those real lives and those scenarios, I don't know, it's interesting because I'm interested in seeing not like the car crash drama like all the time. Like, that's fun and stuff, escapism through that wild ride. But I also am interested in like people's behavior and watching people interact in these different situations and get makeovers or switch lives. It's just, I find that interesting instead of like a scripted perfect sitcom. I love those too. Those have their own escape for me, but like,
Mhm.
there's a different joy in seeing it's like from real people too.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, some of them are acknowledging it in kind of really dramatic ways, obviously, because it's a reality show, but the ways that reality shows are being produced now in the midst of the pandemic and having to acknowledge that, like, yeah, you can't like travel the world in the same way that you could for like a season of The Bachelor. Like, you're all going to stay here at this hotel in the desert for like the whole time.
Hey, speaking of traveling, can we just touch upon America's Next Top Model? You remember
Oh
that?
my
Wouldn't
God.
they do
What a
like
good show.
one crazy trip somewhere to like China or like
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And they would go on their go-sees.
Oh, the ghosties. I recently read a contestant who came out and said that that environment was really toxic and that Tyra took advantage of like their personal trauma for like a storyline or something. Like that show I think was very successful and has a legacy, but I don't know if you did it the same way in this environment and culture today if that would succeed.
No, I mean, there's so many things around. There's a lot of things like body image and representation and modeling and the whole
Yeah.
industry. Like, ay, ay, ay. In the words of The Bachelor, I won Pablo, you know?
I also loved like uh fat runway fashion
Oh,
runway
Project Runway.
project one way, like
So
the
good.
skills are like yeah, I like that too. They're creating something and seeing them adapt the
Right?
challenge. I always say in my
It's a
life
great
when
show.
something bad happens and it's like, oh cool, you have a flat tire, oh your thing broke, oh this doesn't work anymore, it's like this is today's design challenge.
Yeah, make it
Cool,
work.
let's pivot and make this, you got to make it work.
Make it work, designers. Yeah, it's so applicable to daily life. I remember watching the first season with Austin Scarlett, and he had such an impact on me that I named my iPod Austin Scarlett.
Wow. That's
What a
that's a
treat.
lot. That's a lot, and I love that for you. Um, I really love the OGs, Stacy and Clinton
Stacey
on
London.
What Not to
Oh,
Wear.
yeah,
I
she's
still
great.
watch that, like 10-year-old episodes on TLC. I will look those up and watch them still. Love a good empowering makeover show. Shout out to Queer Eye.
Oh my
OMG.
God.
Those guys inject me with so much joy watching them love and give confidence and opportunities
Well,
and oh
and how it's shifted as a series from like, because I remember watching the like original one. I think I watched it with my parents back in the day, and it was very entertaining. But now, like, I don't know, it's just become such a like emotional, sweet show, and love seeing those guys when they went to. They had a season where they were in Philly, and
no
it was so great. It was so
yeah,
sweet, and like love them all. And I love that there's now like always a little dog friend in their seasons.
unfortunately that dog I think passed away.
Yeah, I think
Did they get a
I
new
don't.
dog?
Or they borrowed someone's new dog, or
Oh, I
they.
think one of the production people had a dog maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anthony adopted a dog during quarantine, I know that, and I think Bobby has a dog. I follow them on Instagram. Great people, uplifting. I
They're
love
great. I
to see the emotional makeover and the actual physical makeover. I love a good, revamp of a building, house, room,
it's
before and
they're great.
after.
And they have great chemistry like with each other. I went this was before the pandemic. I don't know if it was in early 2020 or 2019, but I went to a like book reading or something for Tan France's book that came out a few years ago. He had an event in San Francisco, and he was so great, like just so funny, like in a way that you don't really see on the show. And just talking about his experience, like coming from London to the US and meeting his now husband in Utah. And then I ended up listening to his audiobook and would definitely recommend.
Tan France,
Yeah, he's great.
French Tuck, baby.
French Tuck baby.
Um,
Designers.
Also, I feel like it would be a disservice to reality television if I didn't touch upon a dude I really like to watch, and that dude's name is Gordon fucking Ramsay.
Oh my
Dude, I'm
God.
sorry. That bro, I have so much love for him. I have so much love for him. I love Kitchen Nightmare, Hell's Kitchen's I just
He's a great guy.
he's so
Inside
funny.
sources say he is a sweetheart. And surveys say yay.
Yes.
I watched like a 20-minute masterclass video with my dad of Gordon Ramsay's where he's making a beef Wellington, and
Ooh, wow.
it was really exciting. It was very exciting.
I would love to meet him one day.
Right?
Because I like cooking too, but they also like that one with the kids. He's helping the kids cook.
Wait.
I don't know. There's like a kids cooking show, and it's like, instead of yelling at them, he's like, "Don't give up on yourself. You can do this." And I just, these kids are making these brilliant dishes. But yeah, the boss is fucking raw. Yeah, I love it.
Well, now, I mean, this is separate from reality, but now you're in a Ted Lasso sort of journey, so you're getting those accents down.
Southern accent has always been something I really like to work on. I don't really do accents that well. I don't do impressions that well. But I did once do a school play where I played someone in the South and had to pick up an accent for that little paragraph I had, and I really enjoy it. You know, Nathan, I love your hot dogs.
Reminds me of the episode of The Office when they have the like mystery murder party.
Love that. Oh my gosh, yes!
Black molasses.
Black molasses. You know, don't even get me started on The Office.
More of that Florida panhandle. Oh my goodness. Well, do you have any parting thoughts on kind of reality shows in general, your relationship with it, what you kind of hope to see? The world is certainly our oyster.
I think I'm just gonna keep watching them. I know sometimes people make fun of it and it's like guilty pleasure and stuff, but you know what makes me happy, and I'm gonna continue to try to approach the world with kindness and not, hate on people. I do love to talk about it and but I think it's okay, and I'm gonna allow myself that pleasure and continue to watch that genre evolve and see, and I'm sure it's gonna be a wild ride, as like every day is in this new life we call life.
Seriously.
What about you?
Today. I think I will definitely keep watching them. And I guess for some of them, like with The Bachelor, want to, remind myself that it is just a show, but like a balance of like, showing them like love and allowing them grace and holding them accountable for like things in the world. I guess I really appreciate the fact that so many of our reality show faves are on Cameo. What a treat to have personalized video messages from people on 90 Day.
You got me a 90 Day cameo.
Oh my
Never forget
God.
that. From one of the seasons we watched together.
Keith.
Oh my God.
And he was like, he sent me a message. He's like, how old is she turning? And I told him I was on my drive down to San Diego. And then he didn't even include that in the message, which I was so excited that he, DM'd me about that. I was like, let me pull over. I think it's like, they're such a part of our lives. And I think just to maintain that self-awareness, keep the perspective, I'm open to going on one if that opportunity ever comes across my desk. And I'm also happy to just be a viewer.
Alex and Alex take Miami. Oh.
Hey guys. Well, friends, readers, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Episode 5, Mambo number 5. Speaking of Miami. 5 on the drive. We're so excited that we are out here, and we can't wait until next week where we get back into our files in the cabinets.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep talking about stuff. We're never gonna run out of stuff to talk about. All right?
We will never.
And we will see you in the cabinets.
See you in the cabinets.